Hey there, once again, it's me, Gian Lasala, and welcome to season 2 of Pageant Talks. And we have a very, very special episode, and it's such a good breather, a breaker from our usual interviews with Beauty Queen. We have the very popular and famous Luis Portelles, all the way from Montreal, Canada. And yeah, we became very good friends because of George of Pageant Empress, and we have a group chat on Instagram. So, Luis, how are you?
Tian, I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so
Yeah.
glad to be here with you today. Such an honor to be on your
No,
channel.
pleasure is mine. So before we tell the viewers what we're going to talk about today, tell us briefly how you fell in love with, the Filipino beauty pageants or the Filipino entertainment industry in particular.
Amazing. Okay, so I started my YouTube channel as a reactor to music and live performances mainly. But slowly but surely, my audience was kind of like guiding me to other type of contents that they wanted to get my input on.
Yeah.
And so I started making reaction videos about some of the finales of Miss Universe.
Mm-hmm.
I had Pia, I had Catriona, and slowly but surely this year when the Miss Universe season came, everyone was like, you have to check it out, you have to check it out. I
Yeah.
did, and I just fell in love with it. So I started like rooting for Miss Universe since the beginning, and here we are now.
Yeah, and from the bottom of our hearts, Luis, thank you so much because I feel like your contents are very authentic and you just don't really record or give reviews to pageants, but to the whole Filipino entertainment industry. And I think as a posting, you just had a reaction video to our singers, right? So that is very, very amazing.
Indeed, that's
So,
Jan.
yeah. So for the followers of Luis, you're just gonna fall in love with this guy. He's very, very sweet, he's very kind, and he's very, very young. And are you single, Luis? Okay, okay,
I'm
all
not.
right.
I'm not.
No, he's not single. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone is not single. So yeah, so for today's episode, I invited Luis because we are all aware that the Bini Bini Pilipinas 2020 edition just got pushed back and pushed back. And it's such a great opportunity that it's my first ever collaboration on my channel, and we have
Wow.
Luis, being the first. So we're gonna talk about our top five, each of our top five best national costumes or our top national costume picks at the Bini Bini Pilipinas beauty pageant. So just give you a background, some of the candidates they were already disqualified because of overage or age requirement. So sad that we couldn't include Vicar Rushton, and Louise also picked out Thea Rosa, who, by the way, was supposed to be my other muse for the evening gown competition.
Oh my God.
So I had to put the gown back in the cabinet, and I'm just gonna use
Oh,
it for another pageant. So, Louise, are you ready to show to us
I
and
am
share with
always
us?
ready.
Okay, so Louise, who's your number one or your first
Okay.
choice? Yeah.
My first choice, yeah, they're not necessarily in order. It's just like
Okay.
the
Okay. Go.
five that I really like the most.
Yeah.
So the first one for me was Bini Bini 25,
Yeah.
Karina Cariño, La
Yes.
Unión.
Yes.
Okay, so this costume was just like everything. From the moment that I saw, I was like the structure, like there's something about the headpiece, especially for me, that it was just like attracting my eyes.
Yeah.
And I really like as well what they did when it comes to the lighting and the way that they presented the garment at the end of it.
Right. Right.
Um, what about you? What do you think about this one in particular?
Yeah. Actually, since we're only choosing five, she's actually one of my top 10 because, like,
Okay.
for this year, Bini Bini Pilipinas became so experimental and allowed the candidates to, make outrageous costumes beyond the Filipiniana context, right, or the Filipiniana design
Yeah.
principle. So for this one, it's actually very risque. I love how the pearl, mother pearl of the Orient Seas was depicted. I cannot do this, so kudos to the designer. You're so amazing. How you guys did the headpiece and for the thingy that she was carrying, I can imagine this is so. heavy. So
The attention to detail is just insane.
I know. So congratulations to Beanie Beanie 25 from La Union. So
Hey,
yay! So who's next to
Colonia.
your list?
Okay,
Luis. Yeah.
next one is number 30. Bini Bini 30, Norisa Valerio from Arayat, Pampanga.
I love your accent.
Don't laugh at me,
I know.
everyone.
No. I love your accent. It's very sexy. So, okay,
Uh,
tell me about her national costume. Like, what do you like about this in particular?
okay, for me, honestly, it's just something that I have never seen before. Like
I agree.
the play with the colors, the texture. I mean, I'm looking at the picture and it just looks like something out of like a science fiction movie.
Right.
It's just so insane. And at the same time, you know, it's really the creativity for me because when you
Yeah.
think of a gown, when you think of a costume, this is not necessarily what comes to mind first. So for me, it was like a big surprise and I loved it.
Yeah. Same here. You know what? It actually like looks like a costume of another country.
Yeah.
But I love how I don't know what bird this is, but I never knew that we have such bird here in the Philippines. And it's actually very interesting how they made it so minimalist and less flamboyant, but it's still very captivating at the same time.
Exactly.
So how I wish I could see the details of the skirt, but I feel like it's a ruffled skirt, layered ruffled
Yeah,
skirt. Yeah, I
it
feel
is.
like it is,
When
right?
I was looking for the picture, I was like zooming in all the way, and it
Yeah,
is. It's just beautiful.
I know it is. And congratulations to the designer of
Yeah,
this national costume for, because you know, designers sometimes, Luis, they don't know how to hold back. And with this costume, they could just like go all the way, but when they put the pieces together, it actually looks
yeah,
really, really nice, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so number 3.
Number 3 for me is gonna be Bini Bini number 1, Samantha Panlilio.
Hey Sam, how are you, Sam? Oh, interesting note. Sam appeared in one of Ellen DeGeneres' game show. I just forgot which
Oh,
show. Yeah, so you better follow her on Instagram, Luis.
I'm gonna follow her right after
Yeah,
the
right after the
interview.
interview. So, okay, what about her costume? Yeah, tell me
Okay,
all
there's
about it.
something
Yeah,
just so grand about her costume.
yeah,
It for me, it's really like a mix of like a beautiful gown, but at the same time, she looks like a superhero with that
yeah,
crown. Oh
yeah,
my God, really like the crown is like the center of the outfit for me.
yeah,
Because it just accentuates the fact that she's really here to conquer.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, just like everything from the picture, the lighting, the way that she positioned herself, I just love
Mm.
everything about it.
Yeah,
What
I
about you?
agree. You know what? Without the crown, though, this can actually pass for an evening gown.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind going out. Me as a designer, I wouldn't mind going outrageous for the evening gown competition and have those feathers in my shoulders, and the cape is really just nice. I think the lamination, the gold details on the hemline is actually very, very nice. The way they did all of the feather details. It reminds me of Gazini Ganados' national costume, but
True.
this one is actually very evening gown, very wearable. I loved it. And by the way, Samantha Panlilio is, I think she has a pageant background. I'm not sure. I'm going to interview her after this shoot of ours, like maybe in a few days' time. But I feel like she's another breakthrough candidate because, yeah, I feel like she's gonna surprised everyone at the Bini Bini pageant. So I love this dress costume. Remove the crown. It's actually an evening gown. Oh, that
Indeed.
rhymes, right? Remove the
Ah,
crown. It
let's
actually
go. Coming up with
it's
rhymes.
actually an evening gown. Okay, so you've given us already your 3 choices. Who's the fourth one?
Fourth one, it's gonna be Bini Bini 19, Kimberly Tiques Tiques. Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
yes. And interesting fact that's also in my list. So we can actually say something good because we agreed on this choice. So
Yeah.
what do you like about the costume?
Okay, so Kimberly from Balagatas Bulacan.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, first of all, is the concept of like the entire color scheme. I love purple. It's like one of my favorite colors ever.
Yeah.
But also the fact that they thought like so outside of the box when it comes to the dimension of the costume. It's
Yeah.
like the height, it's like the lower part of the dress is like so big. I
Yeah.
really enjoy that, and you really see that they didn't just go crazy when it comes to the dimensions of it, but also like the details. It's just like there are so many elements, so many textures in this
Yeah. I
in this
agree.
costume
Yeah.
that is like you cannot get bored. Like you can be staring at it for an hour, and there's always something that you can like pay attention to and just focus on that.
Yeah,
Just
and same here. The reason why I chose this too is because the way, it's all about proportion sometimes, and
Mhm.
even if it's outrageous on this part, it was just actually on this part, and there was more volume when you go lower down to the bottom of the skirt. And you know what? I don't know what it is, and I don't know the story behind this, but let me just pick up my notes. It says here that it is the oh
Flores de Mayo.
Flores de Mayo, yes. Oh wow, you did your research. Queen of Philippine festivals. So, well, the Philippines, Luis, were fond of festivals like Mexico, but I think
Oh my
we are the yeah, I think we are the country with so many festivals. There's just so many reasons for us to celebrate fiesta.
Fiesta.
Yeah. So yeah, I love this costume, and I think this is the first time I saw a costume of this with this element and in purple.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because for me, looking at it, I don't necessarily get like the festival
Yeah.
vibe right away. For me, it feels
Right.
very couture, it feels very fashion. So at the same time, it's kind of like a blend of so many things that they thought outside of the box. I really appreciate the final garment.
Yeah, and then she looks like a dollhouse, right?
Exactly. It
and
looked like
and
so many things,
I know,
but
but it's
in a very good way.
yeah, a very good way. And if you try to zoom in, if you
Yeah,
remove the thingy that she's wearing,
yeah.
it's actually like a big color with
Mm,
all the flowers, and it actually depicts that that Imelda Marcos vibe, because like
yeah.
she's known to be very histrionic and flamboyant and whatever. So yeah, I love it actually. Remove the thingy, the one she's carrying, it's still actually a couture dress, and that's what I love about it. Yeah, and your fifth choice, we also agreed on this one.
My last one,
Very, yeah,
Binibinim 29, Honey Cartasano from
yes,
Rizal.
yes,
I mean, where to start? For me, first of all, is the structure of the dress.
yeah,
It's very different from anything that I saw during the with the other costumes. It's just so interesting, and there's a little nod in there to what I
mhm,
believe it's a Filipinana.
yeah.
So I really love that. I love how they incorporated the colors, the textures on the dress. At the bottom, it looks like it's feathers.
It is
I'm not
layers
sure.
of
Is it feathers
organza
or
fabric.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, but it just looks like amazing. Like both materials together for me is just like a perfect match. And at the end of the day, right? Because sometimes you know what they say, everything is in the details.
yeah,
Um, I love the way that they play with the lighting to just bring the outfit, like the costume, alive.
yeah.
It's just so.
I know. And you know what? The designer of this costume is my friend, and he's a
Oh,
very
really?
popular celebrity. I don't, I, do you, I think you know him, Paulo Ballesteros. Look
I've
him
heard.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
look him up. He's the designer of this national costume, and we go a long way back. So when Kuya Paulo Ballesteros started in fashion design, we were the ones who actually helped him out. And until there's a trio. There's Paul, Paulo, and me, Gian. So we call ourselves hashtag PPJ.
PPJ.
So PPJ. So we actually help each other out, with the design. We share ideas, and with this one, the reason why I love this because did you see the TikTok video of this one?
No.
I will send you the copy. When she goes or when she turns around, it's actually a mascot because yeah, there's another look at the back of that costume, and um, it's a story of it actually depicts the Gigantes festival.
Mhm.
I don't know where that is. I think that's somewhere. Wait, sorry guys, I don't want to commit any mistakes. So Angonos Gigantes Festival. So Festival of the Giants. So it's like a paper mache. They have
Oh,
they have a huge face, and instead of a mascot, they have this metal wire thingy. It's like a structure. It's like a statue that moves by a. Remember that festival in Trinidad and Tobago, Luis, where they have this giant thingy mascot.
yeah.
It's similar to that, and when she turns around, it's actually a female mascot at the back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy of the TikTok video. And Honey, before she saw it, she never had any expectations because, like, I saw the costume already before it got published, how
Mhm.
he was made, and I was like, "Ooh, Kuya Paolo, you really are, expressing everything, your artistry in this costume." So,
Yeah, I really feel like they went like the extra mile with this one. And I put it within my top five,
yeah,
and I didn't even get to see like
the
the
reverse.
behind of it. So
Yeah.
it's just even more mind blowing. And at the end of it, what I really appreciate overall, not only with this costume, but with all of them, is that
Hmm.
Bini Bini Pilipinas, it's a national pageant,
Right.
but the diversity that you're getting when it comes to the costumes, for
Hmm.
me, it feels like something international. There's
Yeah.
so much diversity, so many different elements, right? It's not like everyone is paying homage to, let's say, like a festival, or everyone is having a costume about something in particular. Like every candidate is bringing something different and unique to
Yeah.
the table, which I really
I,
appreciate.
yeah, and I really am so appreciative of what Binibini Pilipinas is trying to do this year, and they're actually thinking outside of the box. They're
Yeah.
trying to step it up. We all know what happened to Binibini Pilipinas with all of the titles removed from their company, and it just really gave them that avenue to bring it all out, to give it all out, and see to let people know that they've still got something to
Yeah.
show. And it's
It's a
a
smart
brand.
move.
Yeah, smart
Yeah.
move. Yeah. So, okay, thank you, Luis. So, I already gave out two of my five favorites, which we
Mm.
both agree on those choices. Now, first on my list is Bini Bini 18 from Iloilo, Karen Lori Mendoza. Um, so, I love this. I know it's very common where you have this, festival like warrior type
Yeah.
costume, but I think for me this is the first time that I saw something like this. It's tastefully done. You can actually see a mark of a designer on
Hmm.
this costume because they were just using at least five colors, and
Yeah.
at least its majority it's red. And I
Yeah.
like how they did it. It actually looks like a costume from Guatemala or Venezuela, or
Yeah.
right. You cannot tell it's from the Philippines, but I love it. I love how they did it. They could have just went to the traditional Iloilo costume, but they went something different. How about you, Luis? What can you say about the costume? Yeah.
Outside of the box, I really love, just like you were saying, the colors. And for me, I always like the attention. And for me, always the attention to detail is like the most important thing. And something that I really enjoyed with this one was that it's a big costume, right? It's
Right.
one of
Yeah.
like it's really out there, but it doesn't swallow the girl. So it's kind of like a play with creativity, but at the same time thinking of the girl who's gonna wear it. So I
Right.
really props to the designer for that.
Yeah.
She looks beautiful, and like even though like it's a big costume, and with a lot of elements, she's still like the center,
The
the center
centerpiece.
of the attention.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
yeah.
Yeah, and it
And I
was
see the
yeah. Go.
cultural reference, just like you said. Ilo, I love Ilo. I was rooting for Rabia for like the longest time. My girl is from Ilo. So how can I not love this?
Yeah, and actually, like they were crowned together. So Karen,
Yeah.
Lori Mendoza was crowned Miss Iloilo Bini Bini Filipinas, I think, and Rabia was for Miss Universe. So she's actually one of the top picks for Miss International Philippines. And to the designer Tata Pinuela, congratulations. The it's said to be like a costume is depicting the Bulalakaw. Is said to be a deity who has the appearance of a gigantic shining bird or a bird humanoid hybrid. Which makes sense,
Mm.
really.
Yeah, all the feathers.
Yeah, I know. It's actually really, really nice. I mean, I love how they did the feathers. It's I know it's common, but you can
Yeah.
see the uniqueness in it. So, okay, so number two, I loved her costume. I love this woman. Binibini 11, Maureen Montaigne from Batangas.
Mm.
So Maureen, of course, we all know she's very, very popular. She's not new to pageantry. She was Miss Arizona 2015, right?
Okay.
Yeah, she was Miss Arizona USA 2015. She competed with Olivia Jordan at Miss USA. She made it to the top 15, but she didn't advance further. She came to the Philippines and she became Miss Eco International Philippines in 2018. And
Wow.
yeah, and then she was a Century Tuna Superbods winner the year after, and now she's with Binibini Pilipinas. So, guys, I'm so bad with pageant history, but please do correct it in the comment section.
I'm just wondering here, what am I doing with my life? Because these ladies are so young and they have done all of this.
No,
And I'm just
no,
like, well, I'm making YouTube videos at home.
no, Luis, you're still very young. You'd be surprised, guys, how young Luis is. So, anyway, so with her costume, the reason why I love it, because again, it may look like a traditional festival costume, but I
Yeah.
just love how they did this. You know what I mean? Like the wings are made of bamboo wood and the I just love how it's so kept together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the combination of beige, yellow, green, and the way they constructed the skirt is like with all those layers.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a John Galliano haute couture. Right? And I just love the wings. Like, how did you guys do that? So before I
It's
will let
amazing.
you, yeah, before we move forward, it's said to be a lacanates, a reflection of Batangas's rich history, culture, and the resources that has made the province an economic power in the southern Tagalog periphery. So
Smart.
probably lacanates is some kind of food or something like that. So yeah, what can you say about the costume?
I mean, I'm definitely on the same page as you. For me, the main thing about this outfit is the choice of the materials that they use
Right.
because I feel like it's a little unusual. When you think of
Mm-hmm.
wings, the obvious choice will be to go with feathers or
Right.
something more
Right.
light. But the way they went with something that looks to be like bamboo, so
Yeah.
that's different and very interesting right there. I love the color palette
Yeah.
of the outfit. I think it's
Yeah.
very cohesive, and although there are a lot of colors in there, nothing looks out of place.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, like the overall feeling of the picture, you look at it and you honestly feel like it's professionally done. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
look, even though it's a costume, it doesn't look like costume. It's something that you get
Yeah.
from like the store. You
Yeah.
see like the amount of work and hours that went into this. So
Yeah.
definitely appreciate it.
I love what you said about the cohesion because not all designers can actually be cohesive. Like again, they can be all over the place sometimes. But you can be all over the place with your artistry and vision. But with this costume, there has to be that element that brings all the elements together in
Yeah.
unison and as one. And for the designer, oh, the designer is Nick Guarino. Okay, not surprised because Nick is a veteran designer.
Come through,
Um,
Nick.
yeah,
Hmm.
yes, he may not be a mainstream designer like me, but he is definitely a professional. So Nick Guarino, congratulations! This is such a very, very beautiful design. I feel like this could also pass for a Miss Universe costume for a future Miss Universe Philippines
Yeah.
or a Miss International Philippines and whatnot. So Okay, fifth on my list is I chose this because it is very unique. For the first time ever, somebody made a costume based on our very historical Calesa, and it's Gabriel Bashano, Bini Bini 23, the Golden Calesa, and the designer is my neighbor Ken Batino. Hi Ken, congratulations. It may seem like an obvious choice for design young designer to do something modern and
Yeah.
out of the box, but it's actually very well thought of, like very risque, and they actually thought of this while everybody could not. I mean, and the Kalesa, they have to do it from scratch, and I just love how it is. It's very simple, but
Yeah.
it gives a lot of statement. What do you think, Luis?
I'm on the same page as you, as always. No, but it's funny that we have this custom now, because just a few days ago I was making a video on my channel about
Mm,
things that Cubans and the Philippines have in common,
right.
and I was talking about something that we call coche,
Yeah.
and everyone in the comments was like calesa, calesa, calesa. It's like it's the same thing. So I'm really, I really appreciate that they incorporate those elements that sometimes are not as obvious
Yeah.
into the costume. They take a risk, but at the end
Yeah.
I think they really paid off. I mean, it's the structure of this, because I can only I try to put myself like in her shoes, and I
Yeah.
think this might feel like uncomfortable, but she doesn't look
Yeah.
uncomfortable. She doesn't look like she's struggling.
Okay.
So I appreciate how they were able to take the creative aspect of it, with like the fact that this is has like the girl has to wear this,
Right.
and
I
kind of like
agree.
find a middle ground.
Yeah.
um the attention to details. I mean, the outfit itself, it's beautiful what she's
Yeah.
wearing. I love the elements in the legs, and yeah, it just feels like she's fierce, and she has her horse and calesa, and here we go.
Yeah, I can't wait for the national costume to happen. There's still no schedule yet, or I'm not even sure if they're doing one, but I just really want to see these costumes live. So the episode is so short. I just really want to put a little bit of space for the girls who were disqualified because of age limits. So we mentioned earlier that Luis chose Pototan Iloilo, Thea Rosa, and she's also on my list, but we just didn't include her because she got disqualified. And Vicky Rushton, the one with the butterflies,
Yeah.
Luis. I'm sure you've seen that. So
Oh,
let's talk about the costume of Thea Rosa. We just want to honor the girl. I love that costume. I was so surprised that it looks like that.
yeah.
Um, you have the photo, right? I loved how it looks like a tentacle thing. Yes, that one. Yeah,
Oh my God,
with the
it's so
tentacles.
beautiful.
Yeah,
You're right. I mean, it looks like tentacles, but at the same time, it can be so many things. When I first saw it, my first impression
mm,
was like, okay, she's a dragon.
yeah,
And then the more I looked at it, I was like, she's a flower. And
yeah,
then I was like, she's an octopus. So it's one of those costumes that, I mean, you just let your imagination go, and
oh
depending
yeah,
on who's looking at it, they might
yeah,
have a different perspective. And that's what I like about it, because it's exciting. This
yeah,
is for me like a statement piece, because when you, let's say, are in a room and you're presented with this, people can have a conversation around this outfit.
yeah,
It's interesting to that level.
yeah.
And I'm really sad to find out that she was disqualified, that she wasn't able to participate. But I mean, the outfit speaks for itself, so
Yeah,
definitely.
and the reason why I love how it looks on Thea is because she's 6 feet tall. She's a basketball player, a national basketball player at that.
Wow.
Yeah, she played for the Southeast Asian Games for the Philippine team for the netball, I think, for the women's basketball. So, yeah, the structure really highlighted her height.
Mm.
And I love the material that they use on the dress. It's actually called banig. It's like what is banig made of? Oh my goodness, they're just gonna kill me.
What is that? What
But
is that,
what is,
Diana? But
let's open Google, okay? Let's open Google. So banig is a okay, so banig is a okay. A hand woven mat, usually used in East Asia and the Philippines for sleeping and sitting. So it's
Oh,
still the mat is made of buri, pandanus, or seagrass leaves. So I have a lot of banigs in back in my hometown in my province in Iligan and in Cebu. It's like a I don't know. Okay, I'll show you a photo. It's like this, Luis. It's like a
okay.
yeah, and it really resembles the skirt. I think they made it that way. The banig. So I
I'm
love
learning
it.
so
How
much with you, Gian. You're the
yeah,
best.
thank you. So, but I'm not the best source for Philippine history. This is how candid this episode could get, right? So, Thea, we wish you the best. I know that this did not end well for you at your Binibini journey, but I know that the future will be so bright for someone like you. And speaking of, the lady who has a bright future, have you seen this costume, Louise?
Of course I did.
I love it. Vicky Rushton. It broke my heart knowing that she couldn't join anymore. Mm.
Oh my God. I
Yeah,
mean, it looks like it just came out like straight out of a fairy tale.
yeah,
Uh, the gown, like the dress itself, is just like stunning, stunning, stunning. Like everything from the fitting to the detail, the color.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
enjoyed it from beginning to end. And then when they add like the wings at the back, it's just like, is she like my fairy godmother? I was like, honestly, no, really props to the designer.
Yeah,
Props to her for being able to rock that garment, because not everyone can pull that off.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, and the fact that she didn't make it, it's sad. But at the end of the day, the potential is there, right? So I'm sure, just
Right.
like you said, the future is bright. She'll be able to do all the things, and this is only the beginning.
Yeah, only the beginning for Vicky, and she has close ties in showbiz, and I feel like she's gonna be like a great actress someday. Once the COVID pandemic will end, for sure. Projects are waiting for Vicky. So going back to the dress, it's designed by Jomar Peralta of House of Victoria. So it's a Magellan bird wing butterfly. So yeah, so what I like about the gown is that I just love it. It's like a painting in a dress,
Yeah.
right? So everyone, can just make a butterfly costume out of anything. It will just look like your typical butterfly costume. But this one is different. It's not the typical butterfly costume where the girl is wearing a bikini and she has butterfly wings, and there you go, you're a butterfly. But this one is really couture. I love how they did the wings. It's very flamboyant. It's very festive. It's very colorful. I just love it. Yeah, it actually depicts the vibe of Negros. I don't want to get this wrong. Negros Occidental, where Vicky comes from. So yeah, those two girls. Too bad. We couldn't see them compete anymore, but we just want to include them here in this episode because I feel like they also deserve the honor coming from us, with the costumes that they made. And props to the designers who
Yeah.
did the costume, including me, who did the Thea's evening gown. It cannot be
Oh my.
worn anymore. Casualty of COVID. Okay, so COVID happened.
They are queens in our hearts. They are winners. We love
I
them.
know. Yes,
And
same
props to the
here.
designers. I mean, the amount of hours that went into those costumes,
Exactly.
insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
and maybe Louise in the near future we could make another episode talking about the evening gowns. So of Binibini Pilipinas, should they have a shoot, right? So,
I'm
okay,
down.
before we end, I just would like to say that all the costumes of Binibini Pilipinas are just so amazing, right, Louise? Like, what can you say overall with their costumes? All the contestants,
Overall,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you two things overall. The
yeah,
first one is that this was my first year like following Bini Bini Pilipinas, getting into it, let's say in details.
yeah,
And honestly, I'm amazed at the quality of it.
yeah.
Some of these outfits, some of these costumes felt more premium than something that we've seen on like Miss Universe, for example. But honestly, the effort and the quality is right there. And
Yeah,
second of all, I would really like to commend the designers for looking for elements within the country that are so different, so diverse. It's not like you see the same topic, just like represented differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything is different. The elements, the materials,
Yeah.
anyways, it's extremely stimulating, but at
Yes.
the same time I feel like it's very cohesive. When you put them all together, it just makes sense. And
Yeah.
that's what makes the beauty of it.
Yeah, and I agree. And overall, the costumes this year are actually very out of the box. Beautiful is such an understatement. It's just out of the box. I'm so happy that Binibini tried to open their hearts and their minds and their doors for more creative inputs from designers, allowing the designers to go beyond the Filipiniana.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I can say. Binibini Pilipinas is happening on July 11. And me and Luis, we're going to be, and of course, our friends from Puerto Rico. We have Oscar, Belleza Boricuas, and Pageant Empress George. Definitely, we're going to, we have to do something together after Binibini,
You
right? To
have to make it
review.
happen.
Yeah, to make it happen. So, guys, follow Luis Portelles. Luis, where can they follow you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram at Luis Portelles. They can find me on YouTube at Luis Portelles. And they can find me in my house sleeping, because I'm always sleeping. So
Yeah, I like it that I'm a night person, so I like it how you put your curtains and your blinds down, and you put your own lights at the back.
yeah.
One
That's the
day,
mood.
yes, and then I know, Luis, you have a lot of fans here in the Philippines. Just be prepared when you come over. Fans would be like flocking you, and they
Oh
would
my
like
God.
get an appointment and be like, oh, I have to get an appointment with Luis. He's so popular. Just kidding. So yeah, guys. Sana all. Guys, you can speak Tagalog to Luis. So teach him Tagalog words. He's gonna love it. He'll teach you Spanish. So again, guys, thank you so much. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts. We surely love to make and collaborate, us bloggers. So we have a unique circle, and we keep our circles close and intimate. So thank you, and see you in the next episode of Pageant Talks Season 2 with me, Gian La Sala. And yeah, stay tuned, and God bless you guys. Thank you. Bye.